Hi everyone, how are you doing? I'm Echi from Friend Power Oilers, and these few weeks we do have a couple of new friends who have joined us, and I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you. This Friend Power Oilers is basically a Facebook platform where we aim to share quality information on living a healthy lifestyle with essential oils, and how you can create a positive impact on your family's health. So today I'll just maybe share a very quick tip on something that we may not talk about very frequently. I'm going to share how I deal with mouth ulcers with my favorite oil for mouth and gum issues. That's the myrrh oil. We seldom talk about myrrh because it's not in our premium starter kit, but it is something that I use it frequently for anything that is related to the mouth and gums. So you know, mouth ulcers is actually very difficult. It's like 1,000 of your nerves firing at the same time, and the wound is just so raw, and then it's always nudging you in the background, but you can hardly do anything to it. So in the past, I had to use oral steroid preparations for mouth ulcers, but I'm not a fan of steroids, so I would prefer to do a natural way if I can. So why do I use myrrh? Because myrrh is actually very mild, and it's one of the oils that's not hot. So for oral cavities, it's usually sensitive area, so I don't really prefer to use a hot oil if I can help it. So you can see that on the bottle, actually there are some residues here. It's not because it's dirty, it's because myrrh is a resin oil, so it will harden over time. Okay, so this is how it looks like. It's going to take a while for it to flow out because it's very thick. So the consistency is not like your lavender or peppermint. Can you see that? It's like honey. It's very viscous. When you pour, you should pour. There's a little air vent at the bottle rim. You put the air vent downwards so that the oil can flow out. Okay. So how do I use this myrrh? I'll spread it very thinly on my palms. I'll just dab it on the areas that is affected. Okay, but before you do that, please, of course, wash your hands first. This is a basic hygiene. You don't want to contaminate the wound with dirty hands. So after you do that, right, you can do it maybe like 2 or 3 times a day, or as and when you need. And I find that the area of the afflicted part will be actually quite reduced, even on the same day, and the nerves are not so raw. It feels like there's a little bit like a protective film over the area. In terms of course, when you apply it to the lips, right, it will be a little bit slightly bitter, but it's not too bad. It's not hot, so one thing that's good. What we could also use this myrrh, right, for skin, because the use of myrrh dates back many years back to the ancient Egypt, and we know that the Arabians, they use it for skin support. So the balance of it, right, let me just apply. It has asquistapines in it, so it will actually help to carry oxygen to the emotional seat of our brain. We call it the limbic system and our master glands. So this has a very grounding and very mild aroma. It helps us to calm. Okay, so this is one of the oils that I use, my preferred choice for mouth ulcers. Then how about other oils that my team have used successfully? I have received testimonial on Melaleuca alternifolia, which is commonly known as tea tree oil. So tea tree oil is normally we would use it to help things like outbreaks on the skin, but in this case, right, we're using it to help with reducing redness and also support the removal of pathogens. So in that sense, it's something like a cleansing and purifying agent. Okay, so Melaleuca is not exactly a hot oil, and it's very thin. Okay, it's very thin. It's also one of the great agents for any skin conditions. In terms of other alternatives that we can use for mouth ulcers, some people have used lavender, peppermint, thyme, and thieves. So just note that thyme and thieves are actually very hot oils. So when you use it, and if especially you are very sensitive to the effects of the oils, right, I would suggest you dilute it first with this B6 vegetable oil complex. So what is this? It's actually a blend of all the common carrier oils that we see in the market. So it has this olive fruit oil, it has this sweet almond oil in it, it has a sesame seed oil, and coconut oil, wheat germ oil, sunflower seed oil. So all these are very beneficial, and it's all conveniently packed in one bottle. And why we prefer to use V6 rather than other carrier oils is because you're already using good quality essential oils, right? You don't want to compromise the quality of the essential oil you're using with a suboptimal carrier oil that you're not too sure what is the quality like. So if you're using hot oils like thyme or thieves or even peppermint on the gums area, you might want to dilute 1 part essential oil to 1 part of the V6 oil, and you just rub on the area. And peppermint has menthol in it, thymol is in thyme, and then eucalyptus is in rosemary and eucalyptus oil, which are all in the thieves blend. So these are actually already used in OTC products for oral care in a commercial market. Okay, so we will also like to maintain good oral hygiene with the Thieves Aroma Bite toothpaste and the mouthwash essence, because you want to create a good healing environment for the ulcer, right? And these Thieves products, they create zero negative impact onto your health and to the environment. It provides additional benefits because of the Thieves component. It's plant-based, biodegradable. So can you imagine the impact you would create for your children if the environment is not continually polluted by toxic byproducts from household products? So, and then Thieves will have actually they carry all the cleaning products you can use for your household, right? And to us, it's really not sufficient to just use organic products, because it's just green, but it's not sufficient. Thieves actually goes one step further. It means go beyond green, because it supports your immunity with the Thieves component. Alright, so thanks very much for watching. If you have any tips on how you dealt with mouth ulcers or any oral issues that you had, please comment on this video. Thank you very much. Bye bye.